So we have a character trait for Minnie because she's like changing so much in the story. I don't know. She's being like she was okay with her uncle and she was like nice to him and stuff, but now she's like really mean to him.
She's
really mean to him.
She's kind of changing into like Dylan.
And she even admitted that she thinks that her Uncle Bill is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Yes, just like her brother actually is saying, well, I think Uncle Bill is so crazy. I don't like him at all. So now Minnie, ever since that incident happened with Amira and Minnie about the hot cocoa and her running upstairs and dropping the mug, and all this stuff is happening at once, and she's all sad because she saw the helicopter. Amira, she saw the helicopter and she thought, oh my goodness, she's gonna attack because Amira's dad was actually in the Iraq War, and so was Minnie's uncle was actually in the Iraq War, so she was really
scared. I think they're fighting against each other. And I think Amira might have been just she must have been like, it must have been in her brain that she has to run when she sees one of those kind of attack helicopters. So.
Maybe that's what her dad said, because it might happen again.
Yeah, and her dad, he went back to Iraq and stuff because he didn't like the clam. He didn't like the oyster clams.
Yeah. So he didn't like America.
He didn't like America. And then also,
what do you think?
That Minnie is just changing. She was like she was kind of depressed in the middle that she lost her home.
And she's also kind of like
and then she kind of went up. And now she always pretty much liked her uncle. She was going up, and now she's going really down and thinking, oh my goodness, he's crazy. We don't like him.
So and also, this is basically like Minnie's thing, like in the beginning, in our last reading, and right now. So in the beginning of the book, Minnie liked her uncle, and our last a lot. And then our last reading, Minnie was depressed because the helicopter scared Amira, and right now she thinks her uncle is stupid.
Yeah, and she must and she used to like back up her Uncle Bill because she thought he had gone through a lot, so she kind of just wanted her back him up from Dylan. But now she's kind of like offending him by like he's crazy and all that.
She's kind of turning into Dylan, I guess.
Yeah.
You could say he's.
So it's just like, I don't know, because at first she really liked her uncle and she didn't like Miss Marks at all, and now she really likes Miss Marks and doesn't like her uncle at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's like weird.
Yeah,
like, it's not weird, but it's like
it's almost like a hand balance.
Yeah,
and it's really just the tiniest. I don't really understand why. I mean, it's not her uncle's fault, you know.
Yeah,
it's just he's building a helicopter downstairs, and
maybe she shouldn't even told Amira to go down there.
And she shouldn't have even she shouldn't be really even mad at her uncle because he didn't really do anything. He didn't say anything. He didn't say, oh, here's a helicopter, I'm gonna go attack you. He didn't say anything like that. So
she's just supposed to be
she shouldn't really even be mad at her uncle.
Yeah, and I think that Minnie might be worried. Wasn't she at one point worried that Amira was mad at her? Wasn't she like worried for a second? But
I think.
Yeah. So
I think she might have been like worried in the beginning of the book.
Is that about
like, it's not her uncle's fault. It's not really Minnie's fault. She just forgot to say there's a giant attack helicopter down in the basement.
Yeah, so Minnie is really changing, and that pretty much wraps up. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so I think, Minnie should have at least said something like, oh, by the way, my uncle who lives downstairs, and he fought in the Iraq War, and something's down there, and it might kind of scare you a little bit, so do you want to go down there or not?
So Minnie is really changing a lot.
Yeah, and she might feel bad for Amira because she forgot to tell her that there is a giant attack helicopter.
So yeah,
I would kind of feel bad about that.
Are we done?
Yep, that wraps up our discussion.
Bye!